Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another vid. This one is going to be a music review of Powerman 5000's latest release called New Wave. Um, and let's go ahead and we're going to dive right into it. The first track is called Footsteps and Voices. It's a mid-paced industrial rock kind of stomping type of vocals. It has rapped vocals, and the instruments are good, but the way the rapped lyrics are delivered in this song is not my favorite style of lyric with this particular style of their music. It's not the greatest start. Track 2, Hostage, is a catchy second track with a good hook, but it is just somewhat average. It's not really a standout track. Now, track 3. This is where things really take off for the album. Sid Vicious in a Dress. It's pure classic Powerman 5000. By far, it's the best track on the album. It really rocks. It would have fit right in on is Anyone for Doomsday or Tonight the Stars Revolt. The next one is called David fucking Bowie. It's a track with a great groove. Now it is subdued per the band's normal standards, but overall it's a very good song. Next up we got Cult Leader, which is a very catchy track with a very upbeat tempo, and it's a good toe-tapping type of song. After that we've got No White Flags, which is a soulful ballad and a pretty good song overall, but Spider's vocal style doesn't really mesh too well with this song. After that, we got Thank God, which is a short, it's only about a minute, heavy, very distorted song. After that, we got Die on Your Feet, which is another album standout. It reminds me a bit of a heavy version of Depeche Mode with some rapped vocals, but it's executed much better than in the first track. After that, we've got Get a Life, and that is a dark-sounding track with a liberal amount of their classic sounds sprinkled in. Very good song. And then the final track, Run for Your Life. It's a good groove-laden album finisher, and it's a really good way to close the album out. Now, overall, I rate this album, 7 out of 10. Very solid entry to Powerman's discography. Certainly worth having if you're a big fan of the band. Now it's not quite as strong as their previous album, but such is life. And of course, it doesn't even come close to touching their two, best albums in my opinion. Now, there's been some, buzz that, before this album came out, one of the major metal news site really kind of ragged on it, really just for existing, and that's, of course, Metal Sucks. They're kind of they have a lot of news on there that can be interesting, but a lot of their editorial stuff and their general attitude is really shitty because they're like, haha, look, Powerman 5000 exists in 2017, ha ha ha. Like, they haven't existed. Now, granted, they got their start in the, new metal era of the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's when they had their biggest success, right? And that's kind of kind of what a lot of their shtick is based around. And do I think Powerman 5000 is the best industrial metal band ever? No, not really. There are other bands that are far more technical that are in that space, for lack of a better term. Bands that are far more important. But I would definitely say Powerman 5000 is a very enjoyable band to listen to. I quite like their music myself. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but just pointing fun at a band for existing, it's ridiculous. Like the way Metal Sucks was talking about is like they had went away for a long time. They release albums every 3 years. Their last one came out just in 2014, Builders of the Future. Awesome album. Check that one out for sure. But I don't know. I really like the band, but I just don't get why, just because they have a certain aesthetic, they're made fun of. I mean, yeah, you could argue that it's a somewhat silly aesthetic, but they're certainly no more silly than, say, Marilyn Manson. In fact, I say Marilyn Manson is even more silly than them because I think he takes himself somewhat seriously. Don't even get me started on that. Whereas they don't make fun of him all that much, but they'll rag on. Whatever. I'm done complaining about that. Anyway, bottom line, if you're a big Powerman fan, check this album out for sure. That's pretty much it. As always, if you like this, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.